Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Bubba here on Friday, October 25th. TGIF. Wow. Well, I have to finish the videos I've been making on impeachment here. And here is the last video that I'll be making on this. And I'll call it Impeachment Vote and Consequences. Okay? So this applies to both Democrats and Republicans that are going to be sitting in the Senate. Because the House, they're already a lost cause over there. They have conducted an illegal impeachment. And what I mean by illegal is they don't understand the Constitution and the way they're doing it. Closed doors. Uh, they don't put you in there, and they don't give you the facts of what's going to happen when the impeachment comes out, and they vote to impeach, and it goes under a trial. You've had 3 impeachments. This will be, you've had 4 impeachments with this one, and the different outcomes. I told you before. Andrew Johnson, the senators looked at the problem and said, hey, we don't want to go down this road. And that's why he got not guilty. Not because he was not guilty. That's what because they knew they finally got their census. Richard Nixon, he got on the census and he realized, hey, I'm not going to win. And he resigned. Clinton was a farce. The Republicans just were like the Democrats, as bad as the Democrats. Well, the Democrats are worse right now. Republicans were stupid. Democrats, they're not stupid. They're just hell-bent. And that is something your country cannot have. It's a hell-bent party. So, here it goes. If they vote to impeach in the Senate, and this is for both senators, Republicans and Democrats, when you vote there, the House Democrats, if they present a good case, and I would vote no, not because I'm pro or anti-Trump. I'm a constitutional guy here. Did they ever go to any of the federal courts and say, Article 2, Section 2, as it relates to this 3 or whatever indictments they got, has the executive department violated any of the provisions of Article 2, Section 2, or Article 2, all sections, except for 4. 4 is your impeachment section. And make the federal court decide, well, there's a violation here. That is a green light that all 3 branches of government are involved in here. 1, the executive department for overstepping its bound. 2, the legislative department for calling him on the overstep. And 3, the judiciary department for saying, yes, you overstated the bounds. So therefore, you got grounds for an impeachment offense. That's what you need. You just can't go out there and do subpoenas and harass people behind closed doors to get whatever you want out of them, threatening them, because that's what you do. You're just like a regular old police force when you get somebody over there and you put them behind the box. Yeah, coerced confession. Remember that? So, Americans, this is what I'm saying. Be wary of that in your system. And you Democrats and Republican senators, when you're sitting there voting, it's not your party, it's not your president, it's your Constitution and your conscience you got to vote on. There. And what happens if he says, okay, you're guilty? What do you do with him? Well, with President Nixon, President Ford had no choice but to give him a pardon. Because all the stuff that he did, and he was guilty, yes, he was guilty, but look at all the courts time that he would have. all the stuff. The federal government would have been grounding to a halt. It's like shutting down the government. That is what you got to worry about. Same here with President Trump. It'll be like shutting down the government. And if he's found not guilty, then you got him running around like crazy over there. And other countries, when they have a head of state that they find has violated for whatever reason, trumped up or whatever, like in my case, in my country of Panama, when the military regime deposed Arnulfo Arias, they, like most countries, exile the leader. So Arnulfo Arias was exiled in 68 and he got allowed to return in 78. 10 years later, he returned. And the people still loved him. That was the interesting part about it. You should have seen his return. I mean, he had people lined up from the airport through the U.S. Canal Zone. That was funny, but to see that. And all the way through to his hometown. And he just lived a nice, quiet life after that till he passed away. But you had that. Noriega, on the other hand, was a different story. They wanted to put him in prison in Panama. But he wasn't like Torrijos. The people loved Torrijos. They didn't love Noriega because it was a U.S. appointee. And Noriega was in for his pockets and for the U.S. pockets. So see, that's what I'm saying, Americans. What are you going to do with President Trump if you find him guilty? That's a question you got to ask yourselves. That's a question the senators on both sides of the aisles are going to have to ask themselves. What are you going to do with him? That's what the Democrats over there at the Judiciary Committee and House Speaker Pelosi doesn't understand. What the hell are you going to do with him? You're going to ruin the country. And then you're going to have, like we had in the Canal Zone, a 5-mile zone on the Mississippi, and people from the states, say like the western states who don't like foreigners, are going to be like when the India got their independence in 1947. You had two spots for you. You had India proper, and then the British created East and West Pakistan for the Muslims. And they were told, you got to hightail it over there, and you only had a certain time to get over there before the transition, and the English went over there and actually did it. So when they did it, they had all this migrations months before the actual separation of India. Did some people want to leave? Hell no. Are you going to want to leave, say, Idaho if you're there and you've been there for generations because you're not the quite right fit for that state? Or say you're an African American and you're in one of those states and they don't like you and they say out with you? And if you stay there, they're going to kill you. That's another thing, Americans. This is what you're looking at, staring in the face. Well, this is your favorite alien in Bubba saying, you got a very horrible situation coming up. It makes Halloween look like candy. So this is your favorite alien in Bubba. Good day.